This video chart presentation of Pharmathene Inc. It's an Amex listed company trading our ticker PIP. This chart caught my eye because of the up day on Tuesday. Now, it wasn't up a lot, 0.64%. A little bit of an uptick in volume over the previous couple days, 227,000 shares traded. But what caught my eye is the way the stock tried to make a stronger move on Monday. Of course, it pulled back before the close, actually closed lower than it opened, but then inched up a little bit yesterday. And that's following a couple weeks worth of just solid downtrend after peaking out at 220. So it's pretty close to a support level. I guess it's a chart to keep an eye on now for some more upward pressure to come in. Now, probably not going to get a lot from the indicators simply because the stock was falling and falling hard from those peaks. Maybe the slightest hint of the MACD histogram starting to move back towards zero. Of course, we'll be looking for a bullish cross. The 12 passes through the 26 EMA. But again, it's very early on. Similar look to the PPO. ADX is broken back down through 20, saying there's not a lot of strength of the direction of the chart right now. Big separation in the MFIs. 21 still up high. 7 and 14 have moved a long ways away. Generally, I look for a correction at that point, so I'd look for the 7 to start moving back towards the 21. Accumulation distribution finally made a little bit of a rotation, showing the slightest amount of buying pressure starting to come in. Same way with Jake and money flow, making a little bit of a turn. Still down in the red. Selling pressure is still clearly outweighing buying pressure over the last 20 periods. But again, we're just looking for little hints for a possible reversal in the chart. CCI down low, not getting anything from that. Full stow, buried in oversold territory. Trex, it's a lagging indicator, not going to get anything from that. RSIs, that's an indicator that moves pretty quickly. And you can see again, starting to turn with a little bit of buying pressure that's come in. Still below 50, which is bearish, but the rotation is an optimistic sign. I said this was near support. I'd put a strong support in right there around $1.50. See, $1.08 was acting as a strong level of resistance. Stock couldn't push through it, even back at the end of last year. Held as resistance again in the beginning part of 2013. Finally blew through it. Nice move to add 80 cents a share. Pulled back, held that old resistance as a support point. You can see on about 4 or 5 different occasions that area has served as support since that resistance was broken. So stock closed at $1.58. If it wanted to drop any lower, I'd be looking for that $1.50, $1.49 mark to hold again, because if it doesn't, there's not more support until down around $1.25 outside of some dynamic support of the 200-day moving average. Now to the upside, the 50-day is certainly going to serve as a little bit of dynamic resistance. It always does. It's important for the candles to get above that 50-day. It's a much more bullish chart if that happens. But from a static standpoint, look right around that area of $1.80. Still a nice upside from where it closed, getting pretty close to 15%. If it breaks through that, really have to come back up near these old highs. Around $2.10 is where I'd look for resistance to be tough again, further down the line. Pretty thinly traded stock, 227,000 shares, as I mentioned. A little bit of an uptick over the previous days. I'd like to see some increases in volume, similar to through here. Not just a one-day spike, but I like this idea through here where it was 3, 4, 5 days of pretty nice volume. You can see how easy the stock moved with the increase in volume. That's the type of volume increases I'd like to see as the stock comes off this support level to show that there's buying interest in this stock. It's an interesting chart, though. And technically speaking, this $1.49, $1.48 mark has been a pretty strong area of support and resistance. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on this chart at this point. See if stock's once again going to make a move off of this area. Those are the type of things that I'd be looking for in the PIP chart. But as always, merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.